Plaintiff Danielle says she's been friends with the defendant for a year, and he's usually fun to be around, unless he gets drunk. Danielle claims when the defendant starts drinking, he gets violent, and he's been in and out of jail due to his aggressive behavior. Danielle's suing her former friend because he got drunk at her house and damaged her computer. Defendant Michael Harper says Danielle's the one who gets out of control when she drinks, and she's been known to take her clothes off while under the influence. Michael claims it's Danielle's fault that her computer got damaged because he accidentally bumped into it after Danielle pushed him. Michael's countersuing for defamation.
Tell me what happened.
Your Honor, I've known Michael for a year now, and he's a pretty fun guy to be around until he starts drinking. Then when he starts to drink, he gets out of control and likes to fight.
Your Honor.
Let her finish. Go ahead.
He's completely out of control and likes to fight with everyone and get in arguments. He's been in and out of jail multiple times because of his fighting and getting in arguments between people when he's drinking.
Does he ever win?
Nobody wants to invite him to parties anymore.
Dora wants to know, does he ever win?
Not really. He thinks he does.
He gets beer muscles. That's what they call that. Every time you get drunk, you think you can fight. Go ahead. Let me allow you to respond.
She's the one out of control. Like, I've seen her urinate along the road several times. She'll take her clothes off when she's drinking. She's obnoxious and ignorant and rude, like, all the time.
Ma'am,
That is not true.
Is this true at all?
No.
All right. Well, how about you being out of control? That's what he says.
I'm not out of control. I made the mistake of inviting him to my party in May of 2009. He was completely rude to all my guests, made them feel uncomfortable. He was threatening to beat them up because they wouldn't give him a ride home. And he asked me to give him a ride home, and I wouldn't because I didn't want to be in a car with someone who was as drunk and belligerent as he was being and disrespectful. And he knew from the beginning that he was supposed to stay at my house. So.
And he does this all the time?
Yeah.
Sir, and you say you don't do it at all?
I've done it before in the past, but not that date.
How many times?
I'd probably say about once or twice, honestly. And I wasn't the one that was actually being rude to her friends. It was one of my buddies got in a fight with somebody there because he wouldn't take them there. It wasn't me that did it. And their house gets tore up, so they think they can just blame me for it. Well, I'm sorry.
The house was tore up, man?
Yes. His friends were there while we left, and they punched a hole in the wall and broke my lamp and put my couch outside in the rain.
Because what again?
Well, this is a different thing. This is why we were gone. They did it to my house while I wasn't there.
Well,
why did that happen?
Because we didn't take them with us because they were drinking and being very rude too.
Okay. And the incident that you're suing him about is for a laptop.
Yes.
And what happened there?
He asked me to take him home, and I said no because I wasn't going to leave.
You better start taking people home. It's just causing you too many problems or get him a cab or something. But go ahead.
Because I didn't feel it was my responsibility because I didn't want to leave my guest at my house, without me being there. And he's an adult and he should be able to get his own ride home. And he was under the assumption he was staying the night.
Or you didn't want to get another DUI. So.
Go ahead.
And so I wouldn't take him home, and he didn't like that answer. So he poured the alcohol on top of my laptop while I was on it.
Sir?
That is not true.
Tell me what happened.
Well, we left all together in a vehicle, and I left my friends at our house, and they're the ones that they got a little mad because we left them there. We went to Nelson's Ledges to hang out and check out the scenery. Well, when we get back, the house is all tore up, and she thinks it's all my fault.
I think she's referring to a different incident, aren't you?
Well,
it was that same night.
But there were two incidents.
Yes.
One when his friends did it.
Right.
You're not holding him responsible for that.
Not at all.
Later, he poured beer or alcohol on your laptop.
Yes.
All right. That's what she's talking about. But I'll let you tell me about your friends first.
Well, she's all bent out of shape about her house, which I can't blame her. But then we're all in the area, and she runs up, and when she pushed me, my drink spilt on the computer. It would never happen if she would never push me. So it's not my fault that it fell on the computer.
Why did she push you?
Because she's ignorant.
Did she push anyone else, sir? All of your friends who tore up her house?
No, she didn't. And one of them ended up getting arrested after that incident.
For malicious destruction of property?
Yeah, and then disorderly conduct. But here's a statement.
What else? Let's see it, please. Ma'am, he says you pushed him, and he says you pushed him because you're ignorant. Do you want to respond to that?
That is false. I was on my computer trying to ignore everybody around me, and he did it.
That doesn't make sense, ma'am. They've torn up your house. They're still there. And you're on your computer ignoring someone.
Well, his friends were in the kitchen, the ones that did the incident.
You would still be yelling and putting people out of your house, ma'am. That's not making sense. I'm almost inclined to believe him that you're pushing and yelling and screaming. Why weren't you doing that?
Well, his one friend went to jail, so I didn't have to worry about him. And then the other one was...
So you were on the computer sending for the police?
No.
Well, how was the other friend arrested? Who called the police?
I did earlier that day because his friend kicked in the door and put the hole in my wall from that and for disorderly conduct.
And then you let the others back in?
They were already in the house, his other friend, because he was staying with him.
So why didn't you ask them to leave when the other friend got violent?
Because there was nowhere to take him home. No one to take him home.
You haven't heard the saying, I don't know where you're going, but you got to get out of here. Your witness want to speak?
Yeah.
Come on up, ma'am.
My name is Brittany Garber. I'm a friend of Danielle Lumsick and Michael Harper. And she's pretty much right about him. He is a very good person until he gets alcohol in his system. He gets very violent people. He pushes people around. He's even been known to beat up a girl in the past.
Any of this true?
No. Also, wasn't you kind of passed out when all this took place?
I do remember I woke up and you and her were fighting.
Sir, your counterclaim is for $2,000 for defamation. What do you want to tell me? How has she defamed
Also
you?
on that statement, she's telling people stuff about me that isn't true, and that ain't right to tell. You know what I mean? People's like asking me, calling me up, asking me about it, if it's true or if it's not. Causing me, you know what I mean? Like that. Like people's like all worried, like I can get invited to any party. Now people's like wondering if we should invite him, or you know what I mean? They're like, well, should we invite him after this incident?
You've been barred from the parties. That's what you're saying?
Some of them, but not most of them.
Okay. Any evidence that you want to give me, ma'am?
I have a receipt of how much I paid for the laptop.
You have any witness statements?
I do.
Okay, who are they from?
My sister.
And was she there?
Yes.
Oh, good.
And I have a police
She was
report,
on a computer too?
No.
Why do these guys still hang around after doing all this? That's what I'm not understanding, ma'am. Pour beer into Daniel's lap. Oh, you have a police statement. This is for this incident, a computer?
Yes.
Did the police speak with you about this?
No, they didn't.
Ma'am? Police speak with him about it?
No, because he got taken home after he did this.
All right, but they can go to his house.
Yeah.
Well, she has a statement that she gave to the police, and I don't believe she would risk giving false testimony. In fact, I don't believe she would have called the police had she pushed you, causing the damage to her computer. I believe she would have just let it go. She has a witness here who also says that when she woke up from her blackout, the first thing she saw was you. And she also has a statement, 2 other written statements to your one statement. So I'm going to believe her, sir, and grant her $1,000. Your defamation is not going to succeed because the number one defense to defamation is truth. If it weren't true and you proved that it wasn't true, then you would win because, yes, she would have told folks something false, which is the first element of defamation, and it caused damage to your reputation, and you were barred from parties. So, and that's the damage. But I don't believe she caused that. I believe you've been barred from these parties because of your belligerent, violent actions. I believe her testimony, and I believe her witness and the police report. What did you want to say?
If on the bottom of that report, it says my friend actually used a computer after. It's the
so why didn't you use that as part of your defense? Why didn't you say the computer works?
It does. Like
hand it to her.
My friend used it.
Here, make it work.
I'll turn it on.
Does the battery work? Does she like?
Now it's the
All
battery.
you gotta do.
Case, your defamation is dismissed. Your claim is granted. Have a good day.
I don't want to lose a friendship over it. I mean, an accident's one thing, but it was just out of plain ignorance. But I hope we can look beyond it and still be friends. And
I don't know. I'll probably let it go. Might. I mean, I'll think about it.